Hello, guys. Let me just say in advance, this is probably going to be a shorter episode. It's going to be on the shorter side for a few reasons. Well, for one, I use my journal, my planner, to write down podcast ideas. Here's 2 weeks ago. Here's last week. And then I had a little section for it on my weekly for this week. And if you see right here, it is empty. So we're going to be freestyling it. And the other reason it's going to be short is because, well, Josh and I had a talk last night. It was like 3 a.m. He said something along the lines of that he thinks I'm in my prime career-wise. And I kind of agree. Like, I think that I'm making some of my best stuff right now. But at the same time, my numbers don't reflect it because I'm not... like, the Infinite Nikki community is smaller than, like, say, the Genshin community or the Wuthering Waves viewer base. I actually have a lot of hope for the future of my, like, Rivals content. I think we'll get to that. I think I've been laying a really strong foundation, and I'm confident about the next like year. But because the last year has been it's just been like a really soul searching kind of year. Like, I feel proud of what I'm doing, and I would say like every one out of maybe 7 videos I post does like really well, and I'm including short form stuff. But because I'm always subconsciously, I think, comparing the sensation of having a video go from like 0 to 100,000 in a week, which is what I experienced during the early Genshin days, that it's hard to feel as accomplished or as successful, I guess, or as, I guess, validated by it. So anyway, back to my conversation with Joshua. I will go in detail because I think I just need to put my head down and work before I start making any like grand statements or announcing plans and stuff. But TLDR, after we finished talking, my mind was just like teeming with ideas and ambitions and a bit of a confidence boost, I would say, that I just woke up on less sleep than I should have woken up, just like ready to go. So ready to go. And I think I'm going to turn on it a bit more. But looking at what I've been up to for the last, I would say, 6 months, I think I've taken my career to like 85% or even 90%. And I think I just need to push a little further, just like hit the 100. And I think I'm going to start really reaping the benefits of the labor that I'm doing. So TLDR, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm in a good spot. I'm just ready to go. I feel more motivated than I have in a while. And I think the challenges of the last year have left me mentally and emotionally stronger than I think I've ever been, probably my entire life. So yeah, short episode because I got a lot to do, stuff that I want to start on today. And in that same vein, I would like to announce that I did reach Diamond in Marvel Rivals last night. It was so exciting. And I one of the things I'm ready to work on is a video about that climb. So I decided 2 days ago, that I think my biggest problem is that I just get nervous. Like, I'm not calm during games most of the time. Like, they're kind of stressful until I'm in a really good groove. And I really am afraid, or was afraid, of solo queuing. And like, I still don't really like it, but I'll do it every once in a while, just one game at a time. But I realized, I think if I want to keep ranking up, Like if my win rate is relatively the same as when I'm stacking, then I should push through the fear so that I can solo queue and I don't have to be dependent on other people to play, right? And I think it will just be good for my mental to play alone and to deal with like team communications when they're not being necessarily when like I'm not in a Discord VC, right? So I did that, and it was it was a mixture of good and bad. There were some really questionable plays that I made. My aim, I think it must have just been nerves. Like I think I was really in my own head for the first half because my aim was so off. Like almost, I would say embarrassingly off. So I was defaulting to playing Luna, but I was just whiffing, and you can't like, you kind of can't whiff with Luna. You kind of can't whiff with Luna. Like you have to hit or you don't heal. You have to hit or you can't. Like she's a hit scan character, so there's not a lot of leeway in her attacks and in her healing. So I was just like, okay, midway through, I started to feel more comfortable. There were some good games with like really good team comps and good communicators and stuff. And then there were some like really questionable, just blamey teams, and like we would still win, or I'd still win with those. And I just decided, okay, my aim is off. For whatever reason, I can't hit a shot today. So let me just switch to Invisible Woman so that I have more options to heal than just clicking, like head clicking. She's projectile. She has the shield. She has the getaway thing. So I know at least, I think right now I could be more effective with Invis or Mantis than Luna. So I switched to Invis. Excuse me. I feel like I swallow so much air when I talk. So I switched to Invis, and it made a huge difference. And I started winning more than I was losing. And I told myself at the beginning, I'm going to play 5 games. 5 games straight, because I really thought at the time that's all that I could handle. But I think I ended up playing maybe 10 and ranking up from Plat 2 to Plat 1. And then me and Joshua played later that night and ranked up almost all the way. He ranked back into Diamond, and I was 1 game off of Diamond. So we stopped at, because we played, I think we won 3 out of 4 games or something like that. We stopped. We quit on a win. And then today I played 4 games with my like normal 4 stack, and I ranked up. And not only that, I MVP'd for the last 2 games. So I won't give too much of there's more that I want to say, and I'm going to make a full video of those 2 days, and it's going to be a similar format to the first Rivals video that I made. I want to do it myself because I wanted to have that personal like storytelling touch to it. But it was, I was watching back, I watched back my gameplay from last night, and I was like, yeah, like this looks like Diamond gameplay. And I watch a lot of Grandmaster gameplay because I watch high up streamers. I was like, yeah, I mean, I can definitely detect a few bad positioning in plays, or times where I jumped to invisibility and I didn't stay in it long enough, so I died. But I was like, there's a clear noticeable difference between how I played last night versus how I played even like 4 or 5 days ago. And I think the big change was solo queuing felt like kind of taking the training wheels off, and I guess pushing so far past my perceived limits and my comfort zone made 4 stacking feel so easy and so calm. Like I was calm, and I was having more fun than I was just like stressed about making a mistake. And it obviously showed up in my gameplay and in my history. Like I'm now very comfortably in Diamond 3. So I never thought getting to a rank like that was possible. And I'm learning every day not to limit myself, to impose any sort of impossibilities on me, myself, or on anybody. So yeah, kind of crazy. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Severance. Last week's Severance episode was great. I am now 72% through the Words of Radiance. I love it. Oh, I'm eating it up. It's so good. Oh, wait, I do have something else that I wanted to talk about. So I bought a TikTok shop leaf blower, and it's been sitting in my hallway, I guess, for unopened for a couple days. All the videos about it, like half the comments were usually something along those lines of, this is a scam. There's definitely, like, I can see that there's two streams of air and there's a regular leaf blower behind it. So we have this massive, we have so many leaves in our front yard because when we had those fires in California, the wind was crazy. So the leaves from like big, trees that are probably 100 years old shed, and they all just like somehow ended up in our yard. And I haven't known what to do with them. And I've just been so demotivated. And it happened right in the middle of my like just hermit seasonal depression, don't want to go outside period. So I just let it sit there, and it's been bugging me because it's like, my front yard situation is bad enough. I hate that it's so like dead, and our neighborhood is nice-ish, and having just like a plot of dirt, it looks like a crack house sometimes when I walk out. So I think I've just been turning a blind eye to it, pretending it's not there. But yesterday I was just on a roll. So I got that leaf blower. I started to film a video in case, it didn't work and I needed to get my money back. It did only last probably 12 minutes battery life, but it worked. And to my surprise, the dirt underneath was the healthiest I think it's ever been. And the more I thought about it, it made sense. I know people put dead leaves around trees to help them. I think it's to help them. I don't know the science of it, actually. I wanted to look it up. Why do people put leaves around trees? People often put leaves around trees because they act as a natural mulch, providing several benefits like improving soil quality and adding nutrients as they decompose, retaining moisture in the ground, protecting tree roots from extreme temperature, and creating a habitat beneficial for insects and small animals in the garden ecosystem. Wow. Yeah. So I had basically a thick layer of leaves insulating the dirt. And this whole time, I've had such a just negative, pessimistic attitude about it. Like the fact that the leaves sat there for so long felt like such a failure. I felt like such a failure, especially since I started so strong in the gardening stuff, and I've just like kind of let it sit, and some plants have died, and I just have been like really down on myself about it. So doing that, seeing the leaves move, and finding that the dirt underneath is ready to be like planted in, it was like healing. It was like healing to my wound. And it was just like, to me, it's just a beautiful picture of hope and that things are working for my good. I wrote a journal entry about it, so I'll just read it. I called it "The Rosemary Blossomed." When fire and wind ripped through Southern California, The tree outside dropped heaps of leaves into our front yard. To be fair to the tree, my yard could hardly be categorized as more than a lumpy dirt plot, dried out and barren, aside from a few weeds and blades of grass. I was consistent with my yard work prior to that event, but having no leaf blower and no motivation as the winter months crept through me, the leaf piles remained untouched. Only today did I open up my handheld leaf blower, that notoriously has only 15 minutes of battery life, and take on the now deeply settled piles outside my house. It worked pretty well, to my surprise. After 12 minutes of use, I had a comically large pile of leaves and a plot of dirt that looked healthier than I had ever seen it. It was pliable, damp, and even had sprouts of what I'd call more likable weeds peeking through. I planted marigold seeds. Maybe the cover and insulation was just what the yard needed. I checked in on my other neglected plants. My rosemary had flowered. It was just a very, as an overachiever and as someone who really beats herself up when I feel like I've failed or left something that was in the middle of a momentum push. This really ties into what we talked about last week. This feeling of not finishing everything I started. I think because I left it for so long, I kind of felt like my time had gone to waste. But nature, it moves on its own, and every part of your life melds together in some way. For example, last week, I watched Tangled because I wanted to. And through watching Tangled, I learned something new and had something to bring to you, and also had a concept to condense down and to make a short and to post it and advertise for the podcast. So being able to convert my experiences into something that I can give to other people, that's my favorite part of being a content creator. And also it's one of my favorite parts of being alive. Every experience adds to you in some way. So leaving my yard work by the wayside for a while has felt like such a failure, and having the soil be healthy and plantable after being in what I thought was neglected all this time was just such a gift. And it was soothing and a nice reassurance that I don't have to always be on top of everything. Some things are going to work out, even if it's not by my direct effort. And this wouldn't be the first time. I think I could probably create a constellation of events that have happened this way. Some small thing that I did a long time ago can come back. It's a butterfly effect, the butterfly effect too. My art videos, that I think I've come to terms with it. I think I'm at peace with it. I would say I'm 95% at peace with it. Having let it, it's not my priority right now. I don't feel motivated to learn how to create art or how to draw anymore. But my art series, someone told me this in person, that my art series inspired someone to go to art school. I think it was something along the lines of they were scared to go to art school, scared to commit to it, and my art series inspired them to do it. And then also seeing that I can walk away from something, whether intentionally or not, come back to it, and have things be better than I left it. That doesn't feel so impossible anymore with the other parts of my life. Even I think this ideology could be applied to a lot of different things. It's just this concept of hope And just that time is not something that just exists. What am I trying to say? Time is not something that just exists. Time allows for things to happen when you are not actively doing something. It gives me hope for a lot of different things, that like relationships could be repaired that have been untouched for a long time. Or, you know, if I ever wanted to pick up drawing again, I think that would be possible. And maybe I would find that my skills are not like far, far away, that maybe time would be beneficial for me. And life is so serendipitous, like anything can happen. There's always hope. And it doesn't always have to be your active effort making things happen. You know what I'm saying? Things in your life can change even without you trying. I hope that made sense. Anyway, what am I? What am I here for if not to make grand sweeping statements out of small experiences? But it really did mean a lot to me. When I got out there, I blew the leaves away and I was like, that dirt looks moist. And I brought my like little tiller, or no, I guess it was a hoe. Yeah. I took my hoe out there. I stuck it into the dirt and ripped it up, and it was not just moist on the surface. It was like down, like at least 6 inches of healthy soil. So I feel grateful. And I think everything is connected. So I will take that experience as a blessing and an encouragement for all the things that are currently unfinished or unresolved. And that life is long. It's short and it's long at the same time somehow. Just like this podcast. It's long. It's longer than most YouTube videos, but it's shorter than most podcasts. And I hate to say it, but that's kind of all I got for you right now. Let me think. Anything else on my mind? Oh. Anyone who's any brands that are listening to this looking to sponsor a small podcast, let me know. I really like Liquid Death. I really like oh, there's ants on my desk. Whoa, they've created a line. Whoa, what are they after? No, they're in my yogurt. Okay, at least I haven't touched it in a while. Jeez, they're fast. Well, on that note, I have a situation to deal with. So thank you for tuning into this short episode. I hope it was still nice and enjoyable. Let me know what's going on with you, and hopefully a new gardening video soon. I think it's going to be a similar format where I'm talking about what has been going on, because I have footage from an old video that I never published. So I think I'll take that and I'll integrate it into like a full update video, being honest about all the sides of it, the neglect and the redemption arc. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Thursday and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week, right? Will I see you next week? Or will we see you next week? Yes. Me and Joshua will see you next week. Okay, great. Co-op podcast. And then we'll be back in here. Just you and me. Gosh, this is creeping me out. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta deal with this. Bye.